If you haven't run into a plant-based recipe calling for nutritional yeast just yet, you will, and probably pretty often. I'm going to explain exactly what this strange-sounding food is, tell you why in the world anyone would want to eat it, and I'm going to show you 2 quick and delicious recipes using it. So let's get to the good stuff first. Why would you want to eat nutritional yeast? Well, it's the flavor. It is nutty and so cheesy tasting, and it brings this incredible richness to any dish that it's used in. And on top of that, it has protein, fiber, and B vitamins. So what is it anyway? Well, simply put, it's deactivated yeast. It's typically cultured using sugarcane or beet molasses, and then once it's ready, they harvest it, wash and dry it, and then this is what it looks like. Pretty cool, right? The first time I ran into a recipe that called for nutritional yeast, I had no idea what that was, and I certainly didn't know where to buy it. So let me save you a little time, and I will tell you that if you are at a regular grocery store, not necessarily a natural market, but just a regular chain grocery store, if they have it, most likely it will be in their bulk food section in one of those bins, and it will just be labeled nutritional yeast. They may also have it on the baking aisle next to spices in a canister or a bag. That is a possibility. If you are at a health food store or a natural market, chances are they will have the canisters and or bags somewhere in the store, and you can ask someone who works there and they will most likely know exactly what you're talking about. Also check the bulk food section. It is definitely less expensive there, as is everything. So, and then what I would recommend is maybe go on Amazon and type in nutritional yeast, and it will bring up the different brands and their different packaging, and that way you'll know kind of what you're looking for when you get to the store. You'll know what type of packaging you're looking for. And what you can do once you get it home is it does keep for quite a long time. You can store it in an airtight container, either in your cupboard or in the refrigerator, and just make sure it's airtight and you'll be all set. Okay, so let's get to the recipes. I am going to show you the ingredient list for both of these recipes, but if you don't want to write it down, you don't have to. I have created a little recipe cheat sheet and linked to it in the description area below. And you can just click on that if you want me to shoot you off a free copy of that. It's no problem. This first recipe, I call it a pasta topping, although I use it on so many things, and I know a lot of other people do too. And I got this particular recipe from a book called Unprocessed. It's a cookbook, and it's written by Chef AJ, and I have linked to that as well as some of her YouTube videos in the description area below as well. Okay, so here we go. So you'll have just 3 ingredients for this recipe. The first one is 1 cup of unsalted walnuts, and you could certainly use 1 cup of unsalted cashews or unsalted almonds in place of the walnuts if you prefer. You'll need a 1/2 cup of nutritional yeast, either the large flake or the small flake, doesn't matter, and then 1½ tablespoons of salt substitute. And you could certainly use real salt in place of that if you prefer. I would start with a smaller amount, maybe 1 teaspoon, see how that tastes, then you can always add more if you need to. You'll want to be careful with that. I'm not sure the exact measurement for actual salt. So then you're going to throw those 3 things into either a high-speed blender or better yet, a food processor, and just turn it on for maybe 20 or 30 seconds until everything is flaked together really nicely. And that is it. Pretty easy, right? All right, so once you've got it all made up, you're going to probably have enough to last a little while. So you can store it in an airtight container in the refrigerator because it has nuts and it's probably better to keep it in the refrigerator, especially since they're ground up. And then I usually always keep some in a little shaker like this guy here. And that way it's just real handy. And as I mentioned, I eat it on all kinds of things, and I would recommend trying it on baked potatoes, steamed veggies, over a rice dish, on popcorn. You can, honestly, I don't know that you can run out of things to put it on. It's so yummy. So if you have any questions about that, please do let me know in the comment section below. I'd be happy to answer them as best I can. Now we're going to get into a salad dressing recipe. It is very yummy. It only has 4 ingredients and it has no oil. So that's pretty exciting. I found this recipe, first of all, in a cookbook called Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease, and it's by the Esselstyns, and it's an excellent, excellent cookbook. I highly recommend it. I took the recipe from there and I tweaked it a little bit to make it my own. You should do the same. That's what it's all about, right? Tweak it until it's just perfect for you. So let's go ahead and get into this. The ingredients you'll need for this salad dressing are 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, either the large flake or the small flake, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, or you can substitute it for a different type of mustard if you prefer, and 1 tablespoon of pure maple syrup. Now the recipe I just showed you makes enough for 1 salad or maybe 2, depending on the size of the salad and how much dressing you like. But what I usually do is I either quadruple or at least triple that recipe when I make it. And then I just whip it up in a little bottle like this one. And it makes it really easy. I'll just stick it in the fridge and I'm all set for several days. And I would recommend trying that also. So there you go. 2 fun new recipes to try out. I really hope that you like them, but I also hope that you'll take and play with them, adjust them a little bit, make them, to suit your own personal preferences. That's what it's all about. If you would like me to send you a free copy of that recipe spreadsheet that I mentioned earlier, again, the link's just in the description area below. If you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you did, please be sure and let me know by clicking on the like button below. Share it with your friends if you think they'd enjoy it. And if you would like to receive more content on plant-based basics for beginners, be sure and subscribe to the channel. There'll be lots of good stuff coming along. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope we do it again soon. Take good care.